morning, folks. It's the one and only V, the Guerrilla Economist, coming to you live on this edition of Rogue News in the Morning. I'm just typing messages to a buddy of mine. Anyway, we are here live, and we are back. It feels good to be back. Siege, we were hammered. We were hammered, CJ, because you and I gave what appeared by the great tech gods whom we venerate, the wonderful tech goddess by the name of Susan Wojcicki over at YouTube. They're geniuses. They're all things incredible. And we love YouTube. Don't we, CJ?
Indeed we do.
Oh, yeah, we love them. We so love them. We were giving medical advice and on our last show, and that's what did it. We played a clip of a doctor, one of the most researched scientists in the entire world, belonging to one of the most researched, peer-reviewed papers and group that wrote a paper in the entire planet in their respective field, and supposedly we got dinged for medical advice. With that being said, we'd like to preface anything that we were going to say in this broadcast saying that the Electoral College, CJ, the Electoral College has selected Joe Biden as the president-elect. Okay? All right, everybody? So if y'all are wondering, the Electoral College has selected Joe Biden as president-elect. Okay, now we got those disclaimers out of the way. Siege, what's crack-a-lacking, brother? It feels good to be back, man.
Well, before we jump into anything, V, we need to ensure that people know directly how to stay in touch, in tune with us, and listen to our broadcast, because we're all over the place. And, everyone needs to remember that despite the fact that we do not monetize our YouTube channel at all, I know for a fact that YouTube still runs ad on our publications if you don't pay for the premium subscription of YouTube. So for that purpose, for those that are looking to listen to our content, listen to our daily shows off of the YouTube platform, several ways to connect with us. You can catch all of our content directly on roguenews.com. There's an embedded player there, so anytime that we go live, you're going to see it there. We also on DLive, which I truly like. So you can go to DLive, and it's under Rogue News TV. You can also jump over to Twitch. We're on Twitch as well, where look at those followers. So it's building up there as well over on Twitch. And then just
Twitch, man.
The traditional.
I don't know any of these platforms, CJ. I'm like a moron.
And then also just some of the traditional platforms. So you can catch our streams on Twitter, which is at The Real Rogue News, Facebook as well. So you really can't avoid our shows. And then for those that are wanting to go behind the scenes with Rogue News, send an email to yours truly. I sent out an email notification. We've had several people joining our Discord channel just to get behind the scenes, stay in touch with us regarding news, communication, all that kind of good stuff. So make sure you bookmark those, and appreciate everyone being here today. So go for it, V.
Absolutely. I just want to thank all of you for following us, subscribing, commenting, and sharing. Again, look, it's so important that you guys follow us on Twitter, and we need to get our Parler account set up, and we will have and any other platforms that we can be on. I think it's a great idea for us to do it. This way, you guys, at least on Parler, especially on Twitter, we pretty much keep it clean on Twitter. So at least we'll announce to you guys if anything happens. This way, you guys will know. So at least follow us on Twitter, and when we have our Parler up, you guys can follow us on Parler. Gus is going to be joining us, and he said,
I've been here for a while. I'm just listening. I'm impressed. You guys are putting your money where your mouth is and fucking getting on other platforms. I love it.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, we have to, especially when we have the silver-tongued Grecian himself, the most electrifying man in social commentary, the one and only Gus Demas, and you can find him over at perpetualassets.com. If you're terrified of Antifa showing up at your door, if you're worried about Gretchen Whitmer shutting down your business or your state and your 401k becomes a 101k, get a hold of Gus Demas or his fine feathered friend, the hospitable Will Lear, over at perpetualassets.com, and let these guys teach you how to grow a spine and get a pair of balls so you can take your financial future and your life by the horns. And with that being said, Gustavo, welcome, sir.
Dude, it's fuck the tech oligarchs, dude. It's the only way. We just like we all of us, everyone, built them up the last 5 years, 10 years. We have to. It's a matter of comfort, honestly. All of it. Getting out. Stop using fucking Google. I mean, that for me, that's probably
Google sucks now, man.
Dude, that honestly, Google and Amazon are my two biggest crutches. just because I'm lazy about it. Like, it's convenient. It's convenient. You're used to it over 5-10 years, blah, blah, blah. But dude, fuck these motherfuckers. We gotta get away from them, all of them. For me, Facebook, I use Twitter for news. I don't even have an account. I go, there's 5 accounts, 10 accounts I watch for finance and politics. So Twitter has no leverage. Fuck them. Facebook, I don't even have an account. But Google and Amazon are the tough ones for me, just because I'm used to them and it's hard to avoid them. But yeah, you guys are right, dude. Fuck all these motherfuckers. Get off their shit. We have to. It's the only way they're going to learn. It's the only way we're going to take their power. It's not even about making them learn anymore. It's honestly about these motherfuckers are evil. Time to get the fuck away from it. We have to make them the MySpace in 3 years from now, 5 years from now.
Exactly.
I don't understand why Republicans haven't done it sooner, man. I think we've all had our fingers crossed on the government stepping in and doing something about it. It just never. And we were when us three were texting last night. That's what I've kind of, and I think we've referenced it a few times the last couple of weeks. We really just have to accept it really is just the establishment and their sheep against the rest of us. And that's why nothing's ever going to happen to these tech oligarchs, because they own the establishment on both sides of the aisle. So it's up to us. Like if 25% of the users and 50% of the users then just migrate away from them, I mean, it's the only way we're going to do it. Fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, Section 230 has to go. That is the cloak of protection that these vampires have hid themselves behind for so long. We got to eliminate 230. If 230 goes, because at this point, guys, there's a narrative being formed. Let me just take a step back. There's a narrative. There's not only a narrative, but I'm also starting to see an agenda emerge. I'm starting to see a storyline being built, and framing a narrative is very important, especially because our side sucks at doing it because the left is so damn good at it, Gus. But you see all the stuff that's happening, the Chinese Spygate, the fact that Eric Swalwell actually slept with a woman was monumental news. Monumental news. Okay, and the leaked links of over 2 million CCP members who are in various forms of governmental contracting, as well as defense and tech and all this other stuff. And then on top of that, we had the subpoena come down for a full forensic audit of the machines in Maricopa County. And now, Senor Gustavo and El Cuco himself, the voting machines, the clerks, and communications have all been subpoenaed in the state of Michigan. This is huge. Or huge, as our guy would say. Gus, your thoughts.
Yeah, well, there's the evidence is all there. They got the forensic report back from the Michigan. Dude, they fucking cheated. We all know it. Again, for me, it comes down to not to beat a dead horse here or a broken record, as they say, but it comes down to force. Like, okay, great, we caught them cheating. This machine audited, that machine audited. Video film of them in the middle of the night. Dead people, moved people, underage people, felon. The evidence is all there. They cheated. Great. Now the question then becomes, what the fuck are we going to do about it? It comes down to.
I have zero faith on the establishment politicians. Zero faith.
You sent the link, or I did, or CJ did. One of us on our thread, and it was the state police in Michigan not even allowing the electors in. Dude, like Mal said, dude, barrel the gun. Who has the guns and handcuffs? Who controls force? And that's what it's all about right now. Like we know what the media is going to do. They're going to ignore it, to Biden. But it's all right in front of us. This is ongoing for 4 years. The media and establishment. I don't know the answer.
Honorary Chris Krebs is speaking. Chris Krebs, the Tucker Carlson doppelganger, is speaking, and he's talking about this is the most secure election. Yeah, most secure election.
We have all the evidence we need. I just don't know what the fuck anyone's going to do about it.
I don't think at this point, Gus, is going to be a civilian solution, because this is what the reason why I brought this up with the audits and the forensics and all that. Gus, this is transitioning, man. This is transitioning from a civilian matter into a national security matter, which means military. That's the only way this thing gets fixed, man. There's no way these. Look at this Krebs. I like to take him in the back, and you know what? And I like to introduce him to a Louisville Slugger. But that's another story. But the thing is this: you can't rely upon these guys who are so corrupt. Mitch McConnell. I wanted to vomit, Gus, when I heard McConnell congratulating Biden.
Well, across the board, we talked about it, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, that there were 3 ways this could get done. The courts, that looks like it's not happening. The Supreme Court said fuck off. The number 2 is the state legislators. That doesn't look like it's going to happen, just from everything I'm gathering. And number 3 is the military. Those are the 3 possible ways. And God, the military thing has never happened before in the history of the country. And you know exactly what they would say. They would say, we told you he's Hitler, and now he's doing exactly something Hitler would do to steal an election or blah, blah, blah. So that's how they would rebut it. We've used the term 4th generational warfare. This is almost like 5th generational warfare, where everything is about narrative, fake reality. Dude, we're living in
data. Data is the new missile. Data is the new nuke.
Bro, we're living in, and I've been beating the drum on this, or we've been talking about it forever. We're living in 2 reality. Tim Pool had this little cuck on a few days ago, and they started debating about did Biden get the Ukraine prosecutor fired? And his
That's
son,
not a debate.
Dude, he's on film saying it. Like, he's on film bragging about it.
That's not a debate.
I know, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. This kid, it was this kid who's this 20-something millennial or whatever the fuck they are now. I lost track. I ran out of coffee filters, so I'm on instant coffee this morning. Terrible start.
That's like a party foul,
dude. The phone's on fire with the fucking Bitcoin, bull market in the middle of the night, and then I wake up. I'm like, oh shit, I'm out of coffee filters. So anyway,
is it Maxwell House or Taster's Choice?
No, I have. I bought some.
Probably Sanka.
Dude, I bought in my frenzy of prepping. I bought some expensive like Starbucks Insta coffee shit for camping or bugging out or whatever. Dude, I got every angle covered. Every angle. I'm ready to I could easily live off the land or just kill my neighbors and steal their water. But I digress. The point being is this kid was like, dude, the first thing out of his mouth, this fucking millennial, this cuck was, that's misinformation. That's disinformation. Like,
that's misinformation.
Dude, Biden is literally bragging about it at the CFR, I think. Like at the
he was at the CFR bragging about
it. So we're living in 2 realities, dude. If you get your news from The Hill, the Washington Post, CNN, what you go down the list. We know the culprits. If you get your news from these people, your reality from these people, you're living in a different reality. Like, you don't know anything, so our reality is different from their reality. That's why they really think they're, they think they're on the good side. They think they're the good guys. That's what's most fucked up about it. So yeah, that's why when I say, well, what are we going to do about it? Well, we know that if push came to shove and the military, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but let's say it did happen. We know what that side would push on reality. You know what the narrative would be. You know what the propaganda would be. The propaganda would be, we told you he's Hitler and he's doing Hitler shit now. Like, we told you, it's all coming true.
Yeah, and this is because we sat there, we allowed these far leftist lunatics to go ahead and start creating and brainwashing these kids that they don't even know what the Constitution is. They don't even know how government functions.
Well, as we're talking about platforms, so I'll bring up Tim Pool as an example, only because I'm a fan of his show. Since I tuned out Fox since election night, I've basically, I don't even watch Tucker anymore. But I'll listen to Tim at like 5:00 Pacific Standard Time, and I bring him up as an example. Why? Because even he who now has like over 1 million subs on numerous channels. His Alex Jones live streams blew up, 2 of them, blah, blah, blah. Even he, God bless him, poor thing, walks on fucking eggshells when he talks. And dude, watching him talk and walk on eggshells because he knows the YouTube censors are listening, it's infuriating to me. It's almost like, dude, you sound like a battered housewife who has to watch what she says. Like that's not freedom. That's not like so I use him as an example. Why? Because even he, who I think he's trying on the side to figure out other platforms. I think he went Spotify too, and this and that. We just have to get away from them on platforms too, because that's what have we seen them do since the election, dude? Everything is flagged. Everything. If I pull this video up on YouTube, is it flagged? The election. I don't know about your guys' channel specifically, but everything is flagged. Like on YouTube, on Google. Dude, when I pull up my Twitter feed, it still says the Nevada elections were the safest and securest. Like, dude, it's all dude, it's all in your face fucking propaganda on any fucking platform we control, or they control, I should say. I'm sorry. So we just gotta migrate away from it. And the problem on the YouTube side is that people are monetarily vested in it, right? So the content creators they have skin in the game with all their ad bullshit and whatever that YouTube pays. So I bring that up as we're never going to win this if we know the game is rigged. The problem is not only is the game rigged, but we're playing on their field. we're the visitors playing on their home field. So if they control the platforms and the rest of it, that's another. Again, we just got to get away from them. We got to find our own free speech platforms. That's the big picture here. In regards to the what the fuck's going to happen, dude? Again, McConnell's jump ship. The Supreme Court. Do you see any fucking way out? Do you actually? Let me rephrase that.
Yeah, I do.
Is there any more evidence that could be provided to the public to say, okay, Biden didn't win. This is clearly all a fucking scam. And even if it was, let's say we had a picture of Nancy Pelosi in the middle of the night on November 3rd, fucking
stumbling into a voting booth with a robe on,
with a bag of fucking ballots, naked and fucking with voting machines in the middle of the night, dude. Nothing would matter to these people. Nothing. Like it's the same with the Russia collusion shit. It's the same with the impeachment shit. The media and tech's job is to keep the sheep. The COVID shit, the lockdowns, all of it. Yeah. They'll run cover, they'll create fake narrative. We know what the fuck they're gonna do. They've been doing it for 4 fucking years. Actually, they've been doing it our whole lives. It just become more blatant the last 4 years, especially the last year. So is there any way that you could convince them that they've been conned? I don't think so. I'm talking about the
think. Look, here's the deal, man. You remember this, right? Like, there was one thing that Jordan Peterson was talking about that I remember. He was bringing the military up as an example. Right? He was bringing the military up as an example. And in the military, if you have like an 83 IQ, they don't even recommend you joining any branch of service doing any sort of job. An 83 IQ. Okay. The problem that we have in a lot of these Democrat-controlled areas, most of the people that are been enslaved economically to the Democrats, okay, the neo-surf lords, I doubt that they even have an 83 IQ. It's maybe at 83, maybe slightly above 83, but on average, a lot of the data is coming out. They're hovering around 77, 80, 85. So this is why you have a great swath of people who are just been dependent. And look, dependency creates stupidity. We know that. Dependency dumbs you down. It doesn't make you smart. It doesn't heighten or increase your IQ. That's number one. Number two, most of these people that are in there, and it doesn't matter what race or background is, they've done it on multiple people that are in these extremely poor areas, poor white areas, poor black areas, poor Hispanic areas, doesn't matter. There is one congruent behavior. It's a highly impulsive, and you see a lot of impulsivity. IQs typically range between 77 and 85. Okay. And on top of that, their diets are absolutely shit. So, they're being given handouts, they're given welfare, food stamps, whatnot. And they've done studies where these people are actually going to the Walmart, the Aldi's, or whatever. And when you look at their their shopping carts, it is filled with processed junk. So you take all of this, you have the perfect mindless zombie. Those mindless zombies will be the cannon fodder in this upcoming resistance pushback when Trump is going to be announced as in his second term. Then you're going to have the brainwashed libtard. These are the pasty white middle class kids who've been living in their mom's basement. They have an IQ of maybe 100, 104. These are the participation trophy winners. They'll take to the streets and try to mobilize. They'll be the lieutenants, giving direction to these mob of processed food, low IQ dimwits who are going to go out there and riot. While these idiots try to either coordinate or once in a while act as a hero and get their head blown off, like what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse, guys like that. Those idiots won't buy it. Then you have the educated liberals who just are so brainwashed, they're never going to accept it. So I think at least 20% of the country is not going to accept it. It's not going to accept it. And no matter what the evidence is. And the evidence, see, one thing we know about politicians, it's a good thing, it's a bad thing. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing that they're cowards. But it's also a good thing that they're cowards. Why? Because when evidence begins to mount, these guys are fair weather friends. They will flip sides to, look at the evidence. It's too surmountable. They're going along with the charade, this giant LARP, all right, that of this president-elect, this giant LARP. And again, official sources, the Electoral College has, voted, and they said that Joe Biden is president-elect, just for the YouTube tech gods to know that, okay? But they are along with this because that is the what they feel is the mass momentum going, right? But if that gets shaky, if that starts to waffle, these guys will flip. So there's an advantage that we have there. Would it be 100% win? No. I think the true 100% win is when this goes from being a simple election fraud to the much bigger picture, which is this is an international operation, and there are some people that will be arrested and some people that will be put 6 feet under.
CJ, can you pull up the image I just sent you?
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah. So I sent this to you guys, I think, a few days ago. It was one of the best fucking charts I've ever seen. And why I sent it and why I bring it up now is because it ties into what you're talking about. I've been actually, since I got this, I printed it out and I carry it in my pocket too now when I go out of the house, just because in case some Karen.
I love it.
I just hand it to her. Well, okay. Anytime I walk into a restaurant, the gym, the elevator, some fucking Karen wants to go nuts. I literally just hand them this piece of paper. I haven't even had to use it yet. Well, it illustrates two things. It illustrates the power of the propaganda and brainwashing that we're dealing with, that we've been talking about. And number two, it illustrates what you just brought up, how fucking incredibly stupid such a large percentage of the masses are.
Yeah,
they will fucking believe anything if it's coming from certain sources. Or and the perfect thing about the COVID scam too is it plays on to a couple fallacies. The appeal to authority, the authority of let's put fucking Fauci and Bill Gates up there. Like you put these perceived authority figures, the public, like the Yale study, dude, where they're zapping people from behind the curtain, and it's an actor, not even a doctor. It's an appeal to authority. People, if it's coming from an authority figure, people will literally walk into an oven because they're that fucking weak and stupid. The other fallacy is the fallacy of fear. If and that I think
that starts up.
Yeah, well, look at it. It's when I look at this, It's and I sent you guys the joke, and I sent it to like most of the people on my phone. I'm like, there's a better chance I die choking on a chicken wing. Like, really, and here's where it gets funnier. And there's not a better chance I die choking on a chicken wing. There's a 3 times better chance. It's not even close. So this is the reality according to the actual data, but the narrative and framing of what's actually going on in the streets is we must enslave you for 5 to 10 years to save you from this quote unquote pandemic.
Right,
dude. There's a better chance I die choking on a fucking chicken wing. 3 times better chance, and these motherfuckers have convinced a large percentage of America's population to become slaves over this bullshit. How do we overcome that? You know, I've been saying it since April. Like, what is the line in the sand for these motherfuckers? What is the breaking point? A lot of us have already reached it. But I think people still have a long way to go. Maybe it's hunger. Maybe it's homelessness. Maybe it's starve. I mean, I don't know. I guess there's how many people are being evicted the next 60 days? Yeah. Dude, there has to be a pitchforks storm the castle moment.
That's like 1,000%.
It's the only way, dude. It's the only fucking way. Otherwise, no matter what happens with the election, no matter what happens with this, no matter what, if the people don't snap out of it in a fucking hurry and storm castles, like, then no matter what happens, we are looking at simply a linear decline. We'll see a slow erosion. I told you guys last night. I mean, yesterday, they're 100% going to try to disarm us next. 100 fucking percent. That's coming next. Because everything else is in place. Oh, you need your vaccine cards. Oh, yeah, we're locking this down. Oh, your kids can't go to school without a vaccine card. You can't travel out there. The only fucking domino left is let's disarm these motherfuckers in case they rage out, in case the herd and masses wake up and start killing fucking politicians and media. We got to disarm them first. The disarming is coming 100%. They're going to do it. It's because it's the only thing left in their way. Because for them to implement,
that's not going to work, man. There's no way they're going to go nationwide and disarm the entire country.
Bro, if I would have told you February 1st of 2020, everything that would take place in this country the last 9 months, would you think it was going to work? Would you? If I told you,
yeah, but that was the whole virus farce, right? Like, what are they going to? You're going to have camel toe. You're going to have camel toe Harris up there saying, "All right, we want your guns." You think any Texan or some Oklahoman is going to give up their gun? That's not going to happen. But you don't. But Cuss, also,
my mouth has been on the ground since they shut down international travel. Since that day, I never thought that would happen in the history of this country. Since that day, I'm like, yeah, nothing is totally shocking anymore. And to your point, their goal is not getting me to hand over my guns. They know that's never going to happen. Their goal is getting 75%, 90% of gun owners who are afraid to be labeled felons overnight to hand over their guns. So if they just went up there and they're like, yeah, guess what? Keep your dude. First of all, we know what they would do. They would do it in some clever way. They would say, oh, you got to pay a new $100, $200 tax on clips and magazines, and everything must be registered, and blah blah blah. Assault ban. Their goal is not me. I'm going to tell them to go fuck themselves. Be like, come and get me. And there's a lot of people like me. Their goal is the 50 to 75% who are. They're like, okay, again, it's against the law now. I guess I'll just run over to the Capitol and hand them over, or the buyback, or whatever. That's what their goal is. They will disarm I guarantee there's a shitload of people in Australia who still have guns, and UK and New Zealand.
Yeah, of course,
But their goal isn't the people who are ready to be outlaws if they break the Constitution, Bill of Rights. Their goal is all right, fuck it. We're always going to have outlaws and people are going to tell us to go fuck ourselves, but we'll get the sheep to hand them over. We'll get as many sheep who are terrified of, okay, you're a felon now. Yeah, you're a felon because of this new
in
thing
the blue states.
Of course, that'll happen in
the blue states.
Yes.
Yeah. But in the red states, that just won't happen, because one of the things that what the pandemic has also showed us is how powerful states are.
Yes, Freedom Fest just announced yesterday or 2 days ago. They sent an email. We're an exhibitor and speaker and the rest of it. They're moving to my girlfriend's state. They're Rapid City, South Dakota.
Wow.
They have been in Vegas since day one, and they canceled this year, obviously, with all that in July, and they just announced that we are moving Freedom Fest starting 2021 to South Dakota, because they can't trust Nevada. They can't trust the Nevada governor. So yeah, I've been preaching the states things forever. Balkanization. All right, it's time to form two countries. One, I need to trust my local sheriff, my governor, my prosecutor, blah blah blah. So yeah, I think that's just smart. So yeah, dude, it's all moving very quickly, brother. It's all moving.
It truly is. It truly is moving very rapidly. I think the next several weeks are going to be interesting. I mean, we've been having bombastic information, Gus. Bombastic. I mean, recently
what's the new poll I saw? 92% of Republicans think it was stolen.
Yeah,
that's a good sign.
What did I tell you when this whole thing happened?
That's a good sign.
Gus, what did I say when this happened? Gus, I told you guys. I said, listen, the longer this goes, the worse it's going to get for JB. JB ain't going to do so well. And I said those numbers, when it happened, 30% of Democrats, let me not call them Democrats, but Democrats, felt that the election was stolen from Trump and given to Biden. That number's growing as well. I think it's close to 40 now, right? Now, 92% of Republicans wholly believe that it was stolen. That's up from 70 some odd percent.
I've heard this point brought up, bro, and I think it might be CJ. CJ probably toots the horn.
Yeah.
The loud.
Look at this. Look at this truck.
I love that.
It even has the survival rate right there. You'll see the survival rate comes up, and it says 99. See, COVID, 99.8% survival rate.
CJ's brought this up for a long time, since the beginning of the pandemic, and I bring it up now because the 92% thing. The rhinos and establishment Republicans have to realize it pretty fast that they are playing with fire. Like once you see a number like 92% think this whole thing was a fucking fraud on your own side, you are playing with fire. Yep. You are playing with revolt. You are playing with primaries. You are like, it's that number. I mean, that's telling you that half the country thinks the whole thing is bullshit. Like, let's ready to go, right? So, I don't know if the Mitt Romneys and McConnells and Liz Cheneys and all the rest of them, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking, but they're playing with. But what would they do at the end of the day? They would probably just jump ship, just like the neocons did, and become liberals. But they're playing with fire, dude. I think they're totally playing with fire. I mean, the numbers coming out of people just that are, and this is on since election night, dude. They made it too fucking obvious, man. They
got sloppy. You know how they got sloppy?
Because it was such a big win.
It was a huge win.
Yeah,
it broke the algos.
They saw the Florida. They saw the Florida numbers and they saw the Ohio numbers, and they're like, this motherfucker's running away with it. Like, he's going to landslide our ass.
Yep. So they put in the calls for the 83 IQ morons running these election facilities, and they started feeding the machine over and over again. And the morons that were in Germany and in Spain, flipping the votes as it was connected to the internet. They got the whole entire system broke down.
That's the question I have. Like, who makes that call. Do you know, like, it was so coordinated in the timing.
It's incredibly coordinated.
Dude, I remember it like it was yesterday, like watching it all on TV.
Yeah, 1 a.m.
Like,
went to sleep.
The numbers just stopped and everything got stuck in swing states. Within 5 to 10 minutes, they all coordinated it at the same fucking time. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm telling you. When, like, people, we've never seen anything like that before. And that's what I'm seeing. Everyone's watched elections in the past, presidential elections every 4 years, and they made it so fucking obvious that it was perfectly orchestrated and coordinated. And that's who, and how did they coordinate it? And they're, again, they've been spying on everyone. They can't, there's no way able to audit communications on someone coordinated.
Well, we do. We have it. We have all the comms. We have all the text messages. We got the data packets. We got it all, man. You'll see as this thing plays out. Trust me, dude. When Trump was elected as the candidate-elect, which admiral of which agency? Okay, he was an admiral, but he ran an agency, a 3-letter agency, met with Trump privately at Trump Towers and told him that they were bugging him, that they were looking into him, that they are tapping his communications. Who was that?
I don't know.
It was the Admiral. Oh God, he was the head of the NSA.
Sorry, my shit's blown up. I got a fucking client. I got to mute this. That's what happens when I drink.
Admiral Michael Rogers, man, Mike Rogers. He was the one that went to Trump Towers when he was candidate or President-elect Trump and told him, "Listen, you're being wiretapped." We have it all. That NSA data drudging program that they've been running for the last several years, we have access to it. They have it, man.
I would love to see.
No, hold on.
The six counties in question.
Yes.
The trail of how it was coordinated, and
you'll see it all. You know why? You know what case is being formed with Powell, with Wood, with Rudy's team, and military intel. The case that's being formed right now is a RICO case. And who do we know basically invented the RICO laws? Giuliani.
Uncle Rudy.
Yep.
Uncle Rudy. Do you think at what point are people, at what point are you willing to ride this out all the way to January 19th or January 20th? Do you hold fate until Biden puts his hand on that Bible?
Yeah, that's the only date that matters.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm fully prepped, locked, loaded, and I'm completely liquid. I could drop a hat and be anywhere in the country in like 24 hours. But I'm believe me, my chambers are loaded, but I'm confident that come January 20th.
You're holding fate. You're holding the line.
Yeah. I know JB ain't going to get in. I'm not worried about JB. I'm not worried about camel toes. I'm not worried about it.
I like I said, I wish.
But it's going to be chaos. I'm prepped for the chaos. I'm not prepped for whose hand is going to go on that family Bible because I already know who that's going to be. That's DJT. But I'm prepped for the chaos.
I hope you're right. Yeah, I hope
you owe me. You owe me a Chicago deep dish if I'm right,
dude,
buddy.
I told you I'd send you one a month for. Yeah, I hope you're right. But yeah, per your point, it'd be even if Biden gets in, he's in for. I used to think they'd keep him in for 2 years. Now I think they literally keep him in for 2 weeks. The fact that when I talk about narrative and frame and what the media will report, how they're trying to perceive reality, it's funny the way that they are reporting the Hunter stuff now and the China stuff. When you
why
see
are they doing that?
Well, they're doing it because they'll boot the fucking old man in March and put Kamala in there. That's why.
Right, but they're also getting ahead of it. They want to get ahead of it. Why? Because this could bite JB in the rear and bring him down before it even gets to the 20th.
Kamala has always been their candidate.
But Kamala has, but Camel Toes hasn't. She hasn't even resigned from the Senate.
No, bro. I listen. I 100%. That's the difference. I want you to be right better than more than anything. Like, trust me, I'm getting ready to upend my entire life and leave here based on that the commies getting it. So I want you to be correct. At this point, though, I can't bet on that. Like, I can't. Yeah. I can't say, oh yeah, Trump will. We got 5 weeks to go. Trump will figure it out, or they're going to kick their door down, and we'll see them all in handcuffs. I can't bet on that. At this point. I hope it happens, but I can't bet on it. Like, yeah.
I like pepperoni, sausage, mushrooms, green peppers, and black olives. That's what I like.
We're basically at the point in the game where, I want to have hope more than fucking anything, but the big asterisk is, and I always lead back to it, it's, dude, they've gotten away with everything for so fucking long that I'm not seeing signs that they're stopping or not getting away with it or whatever. The governors, the mayors, the deep state, blah, 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 blah. Like I said, Trump, I told you guys last night, and I really do believe this, he's really only made 2 mistakes the last 4 years. He brought in, he got rid of, because all their bullshit and scams, he got rid of Bannon and Flynn and the rest of them. And way too many swamp creatures had access and were surrounded. He brought in establishment guys. That was a mistake. That was the first mistake that still haunts him to this day, that he thought he could trust those motherfuckers. And he couldn't from day one. It was never about competence. It was about trust. Like, they've been fucking the leaks, the this, the that, the neocons. That was a mistake that he'd made, no doubt. He didn't keep around loyalists. He brought in establishment guys.
Hey, real quick, we got a super chat that came up, and this is in regards to communications and the shutdown. We discussed this a little bit yesterday, V, in terms of everything that was transpiring with SolarWinds and this behind the scene things that's going on. Apparently yesterday, the Department of Defense shut down their secure internet channel that was established for top secret information. I tried to find the link that directly had this, and the super chats is related to the blackout, in regards to where is that going to come from. And it's something we just need to be mindful. And that's part of the reason why we did establish part of the Discord. Now, granted, if the entire internet shuts down, that's something different. However, I think in this situation, with SolarWinds and then also shutting down these communication links, I think it's because they have been compromised. And again, if we get closer to January, in the event that something does happen, will there be an effort by the tech giants to try to shut down content, shut down the streams? Absolutely, there will be, but I don't think it's going to be an event of so I may be wrong of Solar Impact. I think it'll be an attempt by man-made operations of tech oligarchs to try to suppress information. So
where do you think the internet shutting down internet or on some scale or another would rank in regards to Mad Max scenarios? Maybe number 3 or something? 4?
Yeah, I would say it's
possibly
up there.
Would you say? I think I would have to rank water and electricity 1 and 2 in some order, and then internet maybe 3 or 4. I don't know. Depending what state you're in, you lose access to gas or electricity, you're fucked because of heat, because of the winter right now, right? So,
yep. And Hold Silver, thanks for the super chat, and we will get that chart posted. I'll send it to V, and we'll get that posted in the Patreon.
The Patreon, yeah.
But you take on the internet for a couple of days, yeah. I think it might get pretty. I don't know if it would be that quick, but you'd start seeing some Mad Max shit pretty quick.
Well, it's funny you just mentioned water, because I'm not sure if you guys caught it, but back in December 8th, Wall Street opened their futures trading contract on water. Did you guys see that?
Yep. And this is why the Nestle CEO many years ago said that water is a privilege. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Absolutely crazy, man.
The water rights thing, people never thought it would come here, but yeah, people like Rick Rule have been talking about it forever. He's like, if there was a way I could get water rights on the West Coast, I would, but you can't trust California with it because they'll just come in and say, we own it now, fuck you. But anyway, we digress. establishment guys, number one. Number two is, bro, when I hear the military has to get involved, martial law, when I hear all that, I'm like, bro, that shit should have been done 8 months ago. Like the minute between my moment of total anger and rage in this country was the data coming out about the virus from Stanford and USC in April.
Oh God, yeah, that was it. That was a clincher for me.
Me knowing the virus shit in April and them allowing the commie revolution starting in late May is when I was just like, oh my fucking God, we are dealing with utter fucking evil. And the fact that the media, after 60 days of propaganda in May, is like, oh my God, if you go to church, you're killing your grandmother. If you protest the lockdowns, you're evil, you're Hitler. And then the commie revolution takes place. And these governors and mayors are out with them, taking knees and the rest of it.
Oh, like Ted Wheeler. He was out there. I'm going to go ahead and protest in Portland. And he almost got killed.
Kamala was bailing him out. Mitt Romney was marching with BLM. Dude,
disgusting.
We have a short memory. That was like 6 months ago.
Disgusting.
The minute I saw those pictures, I'm like, dude, send in the fucking military. Like, shut this down. That was my moment where I'm like, dude, the Democrats are honestly, the commies, the fucking liberals, they are evil. They will starve us out, lock us down, enslave us while there's a fucking commie revolution in the streets. That was my moment. I'm like, because, and again, this all leads back to Trump should have sent a National fucking Guard in like fuck there. And I guess I get it. He's always thinking, oh, they're going to say I'm Hitler. They're going to say I'm Hitler. Dude, they say you're fucking Hitler anyway. No matter what you do, you're Hitler. Yeah, you're Hitler. Oh, Trump put ketchup on a steak. He's fucked just like Hitler. We told you he's Hitler. Look at
remember CNN running stories? How many scoops of ice cream did President Trump have? He had more than 2. He's Hitler.
Bro, they're gonna say you're Hitler anyway. Send in the fucking troops. Fuck them. Like dude.
The troops are coming,
dude. The commie revolution. Remember CHOP or Chaz, whatever it was called.
Oh yeah. They created a new one in Portland now.
Dude,
Chaz. It was run by a warlord. But he was like a rap artist getting like money from all these big tech and donors and whatnot.
Dude,
he owned an Airbnb and a Tesla.
That was his. When I tell you these motherfuckers have gotten away with it all, that's what I'm talking about. Because I can't.
Oh my God.
I can't believe it. Like, you're like, wait, let me get this straight. You're shutting down my business. I can't go to church. We're starving. I can't go out. Oh, and by the way, there's a bunch of fucking hipsters with purple hair burning outside of. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, am I and you, the mayor, are out there with them? like they, dude. We should have had fucking firing squads 6 months ago, dude. These people are evil, dude. They're fucking evil. There's no other way to put. Yeah, dude, think about it.
Dude, they're soulless, man. I mean, I think, dude, I'm firmly believing that there's something with these people, energetically, the way they just don't feel or vibe human to me. They really don't. There's something off with them, something dark, and I can't quite place it, Gus. It is evil. I have no other way to quantify it. You heard about the other Canada's Jeffrey Epstein got pinched the other days. Gus, did you hear about that? He too had a Caribbean island. He too had, coincidentally, Prince Andrew with vacation on the island with him.
Well, yeah, they're all fucking. The pedophile thing people tried playing down for a long time. All of it.
Yep, it's all coming together.
It's all true. It's all fucking.
Gus, in 30 days, in 30 some odd days, all of this we've been talking about for the last 10 years is coming to a head. Like in 30 days. Are you ready? My seatbelts are fastened.
Bro,
I'm ready.
I told you, dude, I've been ready since fucking April. I'm waiting for America.
You locked and loaded, bro. You are locked and loaded.
Only because, again, man, what they have showed me this year, dude.
Oh wow, Vala's also just said that the Canadian Epstein had a temple as well. What is up with these sickos? Crazy.
Everything they've shown me the last year tells me if they're capable of all this shit, they're capable of anything. That's why I'm like, oh, you know what? I think they're going to disarm it. They're capable of anything, dude. They're capable of walking us into fucking gulags. They're kangaroo courts. They're already compiling fucking lists and blah 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 blah. They're capable of anything, dude. Like I said, he should have fucking shut these motherfuckers down a long time ago. April, May, and I know the pushback would have been, he's Hitler, dude. But they're, like I said, man, they're saying that the minute a mayor or governor or DA would lock down a city or a state and then would go out and protest with Antifa and BLM, U.S. Marshal should have had him in handcuffs the next day. Like it's been such a criminal fucking scam. It's just hard to articulate how. And so yeah, when you ask me, why am I so pessimistic? Because the cocksuckers have gotten away with everything so far. That's why I'm pessimistic, because they've gotten away with it all. Have you guys talked already in detail about the Barr stuff? What the theory is there? Bill Barr quitting?
Yeah, there's quite. We covered that yesterday. But feel free.
No, what's the chatter? I don't know what the. I don't know what to think of it.
You know what? We're in the fog of war, man. There's both angles. One angle is that he got fired and he's a sellout deep state cuck, which I think he is. Right?
So
but there's also another part of me that he flipped, because who he gave the reins to, and I went over this yesterday, lines up perfectly with who the SecDef is, the Secretary of Defense, and the Assistant AG, and you take those two together. It's looking kind of different. So that's why the next 30 days, everything we've been talking about, look, the moves that Trump is making are not moves by somebody who's going to go into the 60 days of being a lame duck, just sit around, do nothing, pick lint from your belly button, and, get your offices in check so you can leave. This is a guy on the move. There's an offense here. This is a guy who is transitioning, looks like, to not only a second term, but to finally clean the house. That's what it's looking like. It just keeps shouting and screaming at me when I look at all this data, Gus.
So you think he's getting loyalists at important positions of force?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
absolutely.
Like I said, the Barr thing, and we've talked about it for a while. It's kind of like talking about the FBI being the Soviet secret police. Barr did his job. If you believe he was part of the establishment and the swamp, the girl who works for Newsmax or Owen or one of them tweeted about it like yesterday or 2 days ago, and it was perfect. It was like, he's like, for all you establishment cocksuckers sticking up for Barr, here's all the things that he let people get away with the last 3 years. He's like, no one from Spygate got prosecuted.
Well, maybe there's a reason why, Gus.
Epstein killed himself.
Here's the thing. When you're a cop, you do this, right? You let the small fish get away when you can capture the big fish. Like people were screaming, they're like, "Why? We were sitting on this since 2018. How come nobody? They're gonna torpedoed Biden. They could have torpedoed him 3 years ago, 2 years ago, a year ago, before even the elections. Why did you do that? Because you don't blow your load. What you do when you look at how things are related, just take a step back, forget the emotions, divorce yourself of the emotions, and just look at the board. Look at the board. Look at the alignment that they have right now of how they're aligned. You want to talk about a perfect alignment for these guys to get all knocked down? You want to go after JB, who's a small fish, or you want to capture the entire school? That's what I'm seeing, man. I can't get around it. I can't get around it.
Like I said, bro, I want you to be right, but I'd love to fucking see it. I'd love to see it happen. I just don't.
sausage.
Here's the joke. I mean, look at this news that came out yesterday. That Special Counsel John Durham is actually expanding the team to investigate the origins of the Russia probe. Like,
what if he is
needed? But what needed to expand it?
Hold on, guys. We're all on the outside here.
All he's doing is ensuring his payroll the next couple of years. That's all he's doing.
I don't know. Who knows?
CJ, you know how I read that? I read that like, oh, great. Well, that just means the deep state has leverage on the new guy too. That's how I read that.
But guys, at the end of the day is this. We're all reading other people's mail. We don't know what the hell's going on. We really don't. I don't know what's going on with Durham. Maybe he's a shill. Maybe he's running the clock. Maybe he's a sellout. Or maybe there's something there. Or there are some real credible things that are happening. Real credible things. You know, what woke me up was the raid in Germany and Barcelona. That shit was real. And then when I trace it back to who the new Secretary of Defense is, who Ezra Cohen-Watnick, who is the Article 57 that Trump just dusted off, the new guy who's the acting AG, the new guy who's the assistant AG, which will be the chief operating officer of this. All of a sudden now the media is talking about Hunter Biden like it never happened before, and it's putting out there that Kamala Harris was one of the contacts on the China probe. And now Solwell, miracle, he loves women, and he's sleeping with a Chinese girl named Bang Bang or Fang Fang, whatever her name is. Why? Something is happening. We are all trying to figure out what the hell that is, man. It's not business as usual, boys. That I'll tell you.
According to the what I've heard of people bring up January 6th, or what is that technically?
That's when Mitch McConnell and his turkey neck gets up there and envelope. They tear the envelope and they count the votes for the electors. That's what it means. It doesn't mean shit at the end of the day.
So I'll ask you this, and it's not to put you in a corner. It's more for curiosity. What date would you lose hope and say, fuck, the commies won?
The only hardwired date in the Constitution is January the 20th.
So
that's
you're
the only hardwired.
You're going all the way.
Yeah, 1,000%.
It could be fucking. So if the media and tech and the establishment is still pumping out on January 19th, if they're still pumping out Biden's in tomorrow, you'd be like, no, there's something that's going to happen in the next 24 hours. You'd go all the way to the finish line. Yeah.
Until that hand is on the Bible. Yeah, with JB, it might be.
Bro, I wish I had your optimism, bro.
Hey,
I wish I did.
Sausage, green peppers, black olives.
That's the thing. I might not have time. If you're wrong, that's the problem. If you're wrong, I might have the SWAT team on January 21st. That's the beauty. If you're wrong, I can't get paid shit anyway. I might be a fucking. I made too many Kamala jokes the last fucking 4 years.
Oh boy, she has you on the hit list,
dude. They got, like I said, man. They got a lot of people on a lot of lists. And they're at this point. We've reached the point where I've been talking about it forever, just getting the fuck out of Dodge anyway. So, like, no matter what happens, again, I got to surround myself with like-minded people. And even if there is a gun grab, even if there is some income tax, even if there is some forcible vaccine or whatever, I need people on my side, like my state, my sheriff, my mayor, my DA, like. So yeah, this no matter what happens the next 5 weeks, I'm getting the fuck. I've been talking about it forever. I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge. I'm behind enemy lines. Not as bad as someone in California per se, but again, this is bad enough. It's not enough freedom for me here anymore. So yeah, well, dude, again, not to be a dead horse, but I want you to be right. I really do.
On a lighter note, I'm getting 17 inches of snow, Gus.
Are you really?
Yeah, New York's getting slammed today, bro.
Dude, I miss watching it snow. I do.
Another lighter note, we can do the tequila train now, and it has an elevated open bar experience. All you can drink tequila.
Where?
In Mexico.
So where? Where's this coming from?
It goes to one of the largest areas in in Mexico, Guadalajara, all the way to.
Yeah, but where does it start? Where do you get on board?
It's in Mexico. You have to go to Mexico. It goes from. Yeah. It's in Mexico. But you were mentioning fun stuff, so.
Jeez.
I've heard, dude. There's a lot
tequila train.
There's a lot. God. There's a lot of expats who've already jumped ship, fucking south of the border.
Of course, they headed to Mexico, Panama, Colombia.
Ecuador. I just can't trust those motherfuckers with my money. If I maybe you could argue. I've heard that Panama's kind of stable on the banking side, but if someone jumps ship, my pushback to the Mexican expats is like, dude, can you really trust a fucking Mexican bank with your money? Like, I just can't.
The thing with Panama is they have like a lot of term limits for their politicians, and the president can't run twice.
But from the finance side, it's a little bit more trustworthy, right? Like,
yeah. Financially, it's stable banking. It's literally it's the Switzerland of the Western Hemisphere when it comes to Central and South America. And plus, you won't be looked at as the gringo on the hill. Panamanians are used to Americans. Americans have been there for 150 years. Most Panamanians have American DNA. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I can't have the narcos and the federales kick my door down and steal my money. That's the bottom fucking line. So
you can pay them off.
Thing, look, in Panama, people are like, it's not good. You got to pay people off for everything. No, it's pretty good. If you get pulled over by a comp, you give them 20 pesos, you're on your way. You're good to go. I'm not
worried about them taking the money in my pocket. I'm worried about them taking everything. That's what's if you owe someone $100, you have a problem. If you owe someone $1 million, they have a problem. So it's like if they have access to everything and they can wipe you out, there's no need to negotiate. So if they're pointing, they control the men with guns and handcuffs, and they're like, yeah, we're just taking on your ship. It's like, and you're helpless. You're like, there's no. Is that what they did to McAfee or whatever in Belize? That's like,
I wouldn't go to Belize at all. That's
why negotiate?
It's funny. There's a guy that I was watching, right? There's a guy I was watching on YouTube. His name is Nomad Capitalist, right? And I'm like, let me see what this guy is, because I used to be, in the offshore business and whatnot. And I used to work with Hoyt Barber back in the days. And I still do. Hoyt's a great guy. He's one of the mavericks in the field. One of the last guys standing as well. But I was watching this Nomad Capitalist guy. He goes, I'm going to go expat myself. I'm going to leave the United States because of all the tyranny. This idiot is like going to what he's recommending? Qatar.
What?
Dude, I like Qatar. It's a great place. Then he goes, and then the next thing he goes, I'm in Colombia. I'm like, dude, he's picking places that have severe Islamic regimes, or is like a one assassination away from being an all-out civil war. And he's recommending people go live there. I'm like, what's wrong with this guy?
Well,
I like Afghanistan. I can have riverfront property and beautiful mountain views.
Well, my argument has always been, I've never found a place that has it all. No. Yeah, or I'd be there already. Like, so there's places with a whole shit ton of social freedom, and there's places with a whole shit ton of economic freedom, and there's so there's all these different variables. But to find some place that has it all, I haven't been able to find.
If you got money, Panama's a great choice. Look, I had a buddy of mine who built a $900,000 home in Panama. Okay, so the assessors come out, and they're looking at this 8,000 square foot home. And the guy's like, trying to assess. And my buddy, slips a few hundred pesos. And after that, you know what his home's now is property taxes? $34 a year.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
It's not bad. $34 a year for a 900,000, like damn near 10,000 square foot home, 8,000, 9,000 square foot home. It's sick.
That's not bad. What do you have any before we go away? Do you have any feedback on you guys? Anything happen between now and Christmas?
I think lots of crap is happening. I think we're in a fast and fluid environment, and I think that anything could happen at any time, at any point. It's exciting, bro. It's exciting. It's not going to be a dull moment, and I'll be there, Gus, on January the 20th, eating my Chicago deep dish with the sausage, pepperoni.
You say Chicago like Tony Montana, dude. It's very good. Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah,
Say hello to my little friend.
I'll be curious. I'll be curious what happens between now and Christmas, and now and the end of the year, obviously. But eventually, I'm trying to sober up and reach a point of stoicism in regards to we cannot let what we cannot control drive us insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's one thing I've tried to remind myself of the last 4 weeks, the last 3 weeks. Some of this shit is out of our control, so we cannot let it drive us insane. If it consumes you, consumes me, consumes all of us, it's you go to a dark. It's unproductive. It's fucking unhealthy.
No, you got to stay on war footing.
Yeah, you do.
I'll tell you that now.
I mean, again, I'm doing everything I can, including relocating. I'm doing everything I can to prepare and get ready.
You got to mitigate.
But at the same time, you can't go down a rabbit hole indefinitely, because a lot of it's out of your control. Like you don't want to be apathetic about it because it affects you, but if it's out of your control, it's an energy fucking vampire. Like it's consumed me all year, dude. It really has.
No, exactly.
Yeah, but it's not healthy.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, man.
Probably aged 10 years this year.
I think we go back to how we were during the Obama years. I was on a war footing. I've had, I was doing my thing, mitigating my risk, mitigating my exposure, and making inroads on, ramping up the privacy and the financial aspects of things. And I think if Biden wins, okay, it's back to that. It's back to the war footing. It's going to be like, okay, I'm going to call out my buddy John Singleton and be like, all right, John, let's dust off some programs. Let's do some high level corporate structures, mitigate exposure, reduce risk. And then if you're in the right jurisdiction statewide in the right state, then you know what, you're gonna, like you said, Gus, you get to mitigate your risk, and your only problem is federal. And then if you got the right kind of AG or a governor and a legislature in the state that you're in that are willing to fight and push back against the federal, then that helps you a great deal.
Yeah, so that's the Obama thing is a great example of the Obama years. I think because
I was on a war footing the Obama years, man.
Well, that's the time I got red pilled. Like, so when, again, after going all the way back to 08, 09, I got red pilled those years. So yeah, through the whole thing. But the issue is I don't think they didn't have the leverage or balls or audaciousness. Dude, at the end of the day, man, I really do think Obama was the fucking Antichrist. Just because he was so he was charming and pretended to be something he wasn't, and blah, blah, blah. And this is before all of us knew how to articulate. There was only dude, if you think back to 08, 2010, those years, none of us really knew how to articulate or exactly what cultural Marxism was, what critical race theory was. There was only a select, I think Breitbart saw it early, and a few others here and there kind of were able to articulate it and figure out what these guys were doing. Glenn Beck talked about it like last week or 2 weeks ago. He's like, I couldn't think of the word. He's like, I noticed this critical race theory, this cultural Marxism early on with Obama. We didn't have a name for it yet. Like, we didn't know what the fuck was going on. So it was like this slow, again, 08, 09, Obama was like mainstream kind of. And then you find out by 2014, 2015, Green Berets are wearing high heels and training and shit. So that's what I mean. Like, we didn't know what the fuck was going on. We're like, what? So when I say Antichrist, it's more about one of the key attributes of that whole prophecy is the Antichrist would be very charming and deceitful, and everyone would think he's a savior. And
they were singing worship songs to this guy. It was crazy.
That's what I mean. Yeah, and the infrastructure that he set up was all this cultural Marxism, critical race theory. Dude, again, I sent you guys a link. Abraham Lincoln is bad now too. Like we.
Oh yeah, terrible. How dare you free the slaves?
All the seeds were planted under Obama. I get the articulated pretty well. He is the fucking Antichrist. He was the Antichrist. We didn't know it then. We didn't know what the fuck to call it. But again, like I said, we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll chat again before Christmas, boys. We'll see.
Without a doubt. And that's another one for the history books, folks. It is Gus Demas over at perpetualassets.com. You can check him out, perpetualassets.com. And again, make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, and share over here. And also, please follow us on the links. And once more to the tech gods, the Electoral College has confirmed that Joseph Robinette Biden is the president-elect.
Our tech overlords don't. Oh, God, it's so funny. They're the new priesthood, bro. Don't question the dogma. They're the new priesthood.
Exactly.
I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you boys soon. Cheers.
Definitely. Have a great day, folks. Enjoy your week. Well, guys, real quick, are we still live, Siege?
Yeah, we're still live. Hey, just want to thank all the super chats that came in, Cognitive Design, and there was another one that came in. I think it was Warrior something, but I apologize I missed it. But yeah, that's it, V.
Yeah, somebody wanted some accent or something like that. Some accent. Yeah, I think he was talking about the Austrian accent that I was doing. That was via the Austrian economist. And we are going to talk about all things with Austrian economics and this all of the issues that are going on. Yeah. Anyway, tomorrow, guys, Juan 07's coming. Juan 07. Going to be on tomorrow. I'm going to confirm the time. But make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, go over to Twitch, go over to, what is that called? Discord?
Yeah,
go
Discord.
Over to Discord.
You can join us on Discord, D-Live, everywhere.
Yeah, go there. Hit those links. Get over there. Join us. Follow us. We don't know what the future here is on this tech site that we're currently using, the current platform. We don't know what's going to happen. If they wanted to yank us, they'll yank us. But listen, do it. Follow us tomorrow. I think, should we just recommend everybody just go to Twitch? Or, I mean, go everywhere, but I think we're hot on Twitch, right?
Whatever their favorite platform
Whatever you want. Yeah, whatever your platform du jour, just follow us, man. Just follow us. And, yeah, so tomorrow, Juan's going to be on. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you hit that notification bell, and you hit it with a thumbs up. That thumbs up helps us fight the algos and helps us to stay relevant. Now, follow us on Twitter, because I'll be announcing the time on Twitter at Real Rogue News. And eventually we'll have our page, our parlor set up as well. So thank you all for listening in. We want to give you all a wonderful day and wish you all the best. Cheers. And keep your head up. Stay positive, folks. We got this.